Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Eva deck profile for post-generation Dragenesis. Big thanks to my buddy Nick for letting me borrow his Eva glitter deck for the deck profile. We got some new support in the 6 booster set for the Cardfight Vanguard Divine series, including a new searcher and a new order for the Eva deck as a whole, making it very, very useful to set up all of the playstyle that the Eva deck is meant to do, meaning working with the obscured-dyed rear guards that we have and the different orders that we can set up for the research plays that we can do using the set orders as well in the deck. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the ride deck, we have the standard energy generator with our grade 0 being one who craves knowledge, Eva. When rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is an afternoon nap regardless of place, Eva. When placed by riding from one who craves knowledge, Eva, search your deck for up to 1 research card, reveal it, put into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So we have a good variety of different research cards to run in the deck. So just having a guaranteed search with the grade 1 always does come in handy, with our grade 2 being smooth research progress Eva. When placed by riding from an afternoon nap, regardless of place Eva, search your deck for up to 1 research card, reveal it, put into your hand, and shuffle the deck. More search power for, once again, more research cards, including our newest one to go into, being the grade 2 order, Imprisoning Pass, which can be very good to set up early turn for this card, with our grade 3 being the Fountain of Knowledge Eva. So we have the original Eva grade 3 as the Vanguard, only running this as the only copy in the ride deck, since we have the Poison and Paradise Eva for the added backup ones as well. For the Vanguard circle, once per turn, you can +1, look at cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of research cards in your order zone. Choose up to 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. And this unit gets +5 till end of turn, so more search power, and when it attacks, you can +1. So +1, search your deck for her hand for up to 1 card with obscure die in its card name, call it to rear guard. If you search your deck, shuffle the deck. So just being able to search, also setting up your different obscure dies that we run the deck, whether it be the grade 2 version or the grade 3, thanks to our grade 3. But the main play comes into riding into our grade 3 version of the main deck Eva, being Poison and Paradise Eva. So there is a way to, superior ride this in the deck, being the Alien grade 1 to run as well, the Alien Researcher. But sadly, it's a pretty pricey card, so don't have it for the deck. If you wanted to run it in the deck, you can always replace another lineup of cards in the deck, whether it be some of the orders that we run, just lowering the number of order cards we run to run that Alien Research card. But for Poison and Paradise Eva, once placed by riding from Fountain of Knowledge Eva, search your deck for up to 1 research card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, and activate Persona Ride. And when it attacks, you can bind a Fountain of Knowledge Eva from your soul, and search the top card in your hand or drop for up to 1 card with obscure die, call it to rear guard, and then that unit and this unit get +5 to end of turn. If you search your deck, shuffle the deck, at the end of the battle, ride a card bound for this cost as rest, setting up the Eva for you to be able to then use again with another Poison and Paradise Eva. Just having another research search on top of the grade 3 ride is a big help there for sure. And then the added power of being able to just call an obscure die card from your deck or hand or drop, depending on where it is, to use this card as well. For the actual obscure dies, we run the deck 4 copies of Knight of Blackness obscure died. When this unit attacks, if your order zone has a set order, it gets +5. If you have 3 or more set orders, it gets +10 instead. And with Glittering with Eva, when it's placed on rear guard by the ability of your order zone has 3 or more research cards, it gets critical +1. And also on the rear guard in the guard circle, it gets intercept and +10 shield, adding as a defensive card. But for the additional critical, also a pretty good offensive card, using the different power plays they can get, whether it be its defensive intercept option or the added 10k power as well, just by having research cards set up. We also run 2 copies of Absent Robust. This could honestly be one of the replacement spots for the Alien grade 1 Superior Ride card if you wanted to run 2 additional copies here. And then the next spot being our grade 2 Glitter Search, or as I said, some of the order cards. For the grade 2s, we're running 4 copies of Great Sword of Fierce Black Flame, obscure die, the grade 2 version. If your order zone has 3 or more set orders, it gets +5 power, +5 shield, making it a 10k interceptor, and just being able to hit most Vanguards on their own as well. And on rear guard, when this unit is placed on rear by your card's ability, and your order zone has 3 or more research cards, when it would attack, it battles all your opponent's front row units. So not only can it clear out your opponent's rear guards, it can also just attack the Vanguard as well. So great intercept power reduced for your opponent, and then just the added pressure that this card can provide. For the other grade 2s, we also run 3 copies of Jenks the Alligator. When it's placed on rearguard from hand, if your Vanguard is a glitter, look at the top 5 of your deck, choose up to 1 glitter from among them, reveal, put in your hand, and shuffle the deck. If you revealed a card, put this card in the soul, giving you more of a soul blast option after it goes into the soul, but also just being able to then make use of the search power for our many forms of Obscuridide or Eva that we run in the deck as well. And then also the 2 copies of Combined Rusher, just for added setup when it attacks a grade 3 or greater. If your Aura Zone has 2 or more set orders, it gets +10. And from the drop, when your set order is placed, you can count +1 to call it to rearguard, giving you more rearguard setup thanks to this card in the deck. It's just a 2 of count since it can be set up in the drop zone to then reuse again. If you want to run more copies of Bottle Mine, you could just decrease the number of Combine Rusher for the 2 additional copies of the card that can be put into Soul to countercharge, and also setting up your Soul as well, just by having set orders. And then the lineup for the Sentinels being the Elementaria Sanctitude and the 3 copies of Violate Dragon, just standard setup for the Sentinels as well. With our orders, we're running 3 copies of the grade 3, the Worlds of Blue Research Lab. You play it if you have a glitter with Eva and its card named Vanguard, and when it's put into the Aura Zone, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, call it to rear, shuffle your deck. So more search power, and from the Aura Zone, you can Soul Blast 1, retch this research card. From your Aura Zone, choose one of your glitter units, it gets +5, stacking more power on top of either your Eva or your Obscuridide, also thanks to this card. The 3 copies of the new grade 2, Imprisoning Past. You play it if you have a glitter with Eva and its card named Vanguard. From your Aura Zone, you once per turn when your glitter is placed on Vanguard or rearguard. If you may have that unit get +5 to end of turn. So more setup for your power on your rearguards. And you can Soul Blast 1 and rest this card, choose a glitter from your drop, put it on the bottom of the deck, being able to recycle your Evas or your Obscuridides thanks to this set research order as well. With the last of the orders being the grade 1 copy, result of the experiment henceforth. Just more counter charge power by placing this card into the soul from the Aura Zone, if your Aura Zone has 4 more research cards, and also being able to protect your Obscuridides while it's in the Order Zone from being destroyed by your opponent's card effects. With the trigger lineup, we're going with the 8 critical, just added pressure on top of the Obscuridide rearguards, really not leaving much room for your opponent to be able to guard many of their attacks and not take 2 damage. The 3 copies of the front trigger being Cardinal Draco Imperio, with the heals being 2 copies of the Creaking World for the additional 15k shield, and the 2 Nabalin for the generic heal lineup as well. With our over trigger in the deck being the Elder Breath, it's just the standard go-to Brontgate, good pressure added, doubling the power and critical of all of your front row, rear guards, and units until the end of turn. So just the added pressure to use with the Eva deck as well. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Once again, big thanks to my buddy Nick for letting me borrow his Eva deck for the video. It's definitely awesome glitter deck, and hoping to update a good majority of the other glitter decks with the newly added support from the Generation Dragenesis booster set. So look forward to it. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.